Hi, this is Michael Boldup, and I'm a strategist, and I use strategies to help people solve problems. And today we're going to talk about primary questions. Now, you're probably wondering what exactly is that, so I'll tell you that in a moment. For now, let me just share a story a little bit about questions. Because when I started my coaching career, I worked for the world's #1 coach, and at that time, I just started my coaching career. And this woman, she walked into my office, and I remember looking at her face, and she was just so depressed. She was feeling a negative emotion. And I remember thinking, what am I going to do to help this woman become happy or feel a good emotion? And I had been using this tool called the primary question in order to make myself happy every morning. And I'll show you what that tool is. So I decided to use that tool, and it's basically just some questions that you ask, and I started by asking her these questions, which are, what are you most happy about right now? And I remember her answering the question. She said, I'm not sure I'm happy about anything. I said, well, what could you be most happy about if you really wanted to be happy right now? And she stopped and started to answer my questions. And I kept asking her again, what are you most grateful for about in your life right now? And we went through this series of questions. It took about 15 minutes to really go through all of the questions, get lots of answers. And I remember her, she was just transformed emotionally. She was in a very good, happy state. And she turned to me and said, Michael, thank you so much. She gave me a big hug, and she says, thank you so much, because she was so happy. And I realized just how powerful primary questions are. In fact, I did a seminar in Japan, and I remember in the second day of that seminar, in the morning, I used primary questions. And what I do is every morning, on that morning, I go and I ask the entire audience, I said, what are you most grateful for about right now? And I get them to really think about it. Well, what could you be most grateful about? What about that makes you grateful? How do you feel about that? And I go through these series of questions in that summer for 5 minutes, and you can see people have tears in their eyes. They're really transforming their emotions. And I believe the reason it works so well is because we're all so busy, aren't we? Working our jobs, doing the things that we have to do. And sometimes we just forget to take time to really count our blessings and really think about what is it that I'm really most happy about in my life right now? What am I most grateful for? So many people just forget, and they get caught up in doing the things they have to do every day. So that's why I created this system called primary question. And let me just show you how it works. It's a 4-step process, and the first step to the primary question is simply to ask, what am I most about? And in this case, you could start off, for example, what am I most grateful about? It could be, what am I most happy about? What am I most excited about? Okay, you could add different emotions in that sentence. The second question, the second step rather, is then you got to ask, what about that makes me grateful? So for example, if I ask myself that question right now, what am I most grateful about right now as I'm doing this video with you? Then I have to think, and the answer to that question is I'm most grateful about helping people learn how to feel good, and how to change their emotion. Okay, that's the first question. The second question is, well, what about helping other people change their emotion makes you feel grateful? And then the answer to that question is because I know I can make a difference in the world. I know I can help lots of people just get really happy. And then the third step is, how do you feel about that? And the answer to that question is I feel really good that I have this career that helps so many people change the way they feel. And then step number 4 is you keep asking that question. Maybe get 2 to 3 answers for that question. So then, in other words, don't just think about one thing you're grateful for. Think about many different things. And then go to the next question. What am I most happy about right now? Then I have to think about that, and you have to think about that too. So what you do is you can do this every morning or anytime you want. And by going through these questions and really thinking about not just what you're grateful, but why are you grateful about that? What specifically about that makes you grateful? And then how do I feel about this? And then keep doing it. If you do that for a few minutes, 5 minutes, it's going to make a huge difference in how you feel. So this is called the primary question. It's a very, very powerful tool in order to change your emotions. And you can use it right now, so I hope you're going to use it this moment in order to change how you feel. This is Michael Bolduc saying you can do it. Bye for now.